And he really is a goal-scoring machine, isn't he? This is Drive on talkSPORT with myself, Adi Oladipo, and England legend Darren Goughie. Lukaku on his way to Chelsea. Club record fee, we're hearing near £100 million, 97.5 million. Everyone's done big business, right, in the Premier League. Man City, Grealish, 100 million. You look at what Manchester United have done with Varane and Sancho. Chelsea said, OK, let's see what we can do.
What have Liverpool done?
Konate. That's about it. Konate's come in.
Are you concerned?
For RB Leipzig. Very, very concerned. I have to be honest with you, Goughie, very concerned just because of the injury record of the midfielders we've got. The engine room no longer seems to have much petrol in it. So I think they need to replace, or at least look, they let Wijnaldum go, they've at least got to replace him. They haven't done that yet. So it is a concern. Back to Lukaku. Obviously, look, he got his... some detractors from his time at United. He went away to Inter Milan and has completely ripped up the record books there. 34 goals in his first season, 30 goals last season. They're financially struggling, right? The players are being sold left, right and centre, and he's now the next one to leave. Big move for Chelsea, this.
It is, and you've got a player that wants to prove he should never have been let go in the first place.
Yeah.
When he left Chelsea, he went and scored goals for Everton.
Yeah.
Whether he were on loan or whether he was signing, he scored goals for Manchester United. Not enough to please them. A lot of people talked about his touch. And when you consider if he goes to Chelsea, which he is, right? He plays as that lone striker. One of the things he was criticised for when he was at Everton, they said he had a terrible touch, and Manchester United, terrible touch, is that's what he's going to be doing. Holding up play
and
for the likes.
Players.
Bringing in the other players like Mount and Ziyech
and
Werner and Havertz. And Pulisic.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It is ridiculous. Yeah. I think it's a player they need, Chelsea. And I think it's a great fit. And he's a proven record, whether he's playing in England, whether he's playing in Italy, or whether he's playing for Belgium.
What I like as well with him is that he's proven at every single level in the Premier League.
Everyone.
West Brom, a struggling team in the Premier League, got goals. Everton, at the time, obviously fighting for that European spots, got goals. Manchester United trying to get the league again, got goals. Went away to Inter Milan, scored goals in Serie A and in Europe as well.
And scores goals in tournaments.
Scores goals for Belgium.
60-odd goals in 90-odd matches. I mean, you're getting a very, very good player. And he'll be desperate to get off to a good start, purely because he hasn't scored for Chelsea. All those goals we're talking about, and he hasn't scored for Chelsea.
It's incredible. Obviously there between 2011 and 2014, but sent literally out on loan everywhere. Best goal scorer in the Premier League now?
Oh, no. Kane
still better?
Absolutely.
Not absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'd accept it. Yes, he is. Absolutely better goal scorer.
Well, how many times has Kane won the Premier League top scorer?
Quite a few.
Is it 3?
Quite a few.
Three. How many times has Lukaku won it?
I don't know. Any fingers?
None. He hasn't won it.
Producers doing the
I'm gambling on a none.
Yeah.
I'm saying none.
Top goal scorer in
So the top scorer, mate, is Harry Kane.
Serie A.
Yeah, that's not Premier League. He'll score goals, but the top scorer is Kane consistently. Aubameyang got close a couple of times. Salah's been there. These guys score goals. Vardy's up there. He's going to a club that should create chances. But he could end up creating a lot of chances for all those players we talked about behind. But he'll score goals, Lukaku. I think it's a good signing. I think for 90-odd million, it's a lot of money when you look at it, 90-odd million. You wouldn't mind 9 million, would you? Hey? You wouldn't mind 750 grand. But it's a player they need. If they want to start comparing, we're talking about PSG and Messi going there and their team. Lukaku makes Chelsea better.
He does.
And stronger.
Especially considering this is the team that won the Champions League last season, but that number 9 issue, it was an issue for them, right?
Stronger.
They tried Giroud in there, clearly didn't fancy Tammy Abraham. Kai Havertz has tried to play through the middle. Right now they've just gone upgrade. They've literally gone upgrade.
Absolutely.
With Romelu Lukaku. All right, it isn't just obviously the Kane and Lukaku show. There are other goal scorers in the Premier League as well. Where does he rank in this? Is he above Aubameyang? Would you have him above?
Well, he is at the minute.
Would you have him above Mo Salah in terms of a goal scorer?
Well, you've got to, haven't you?
I mean, you've got to have him above Mo.
Listen, Salah, I'm a massive fan of Mo Salah. I stick up for him on here loads of times because there is still people who still slaughter him for whatever reason. His record of scoring goals is right up with the very best Liverpool strikers they've had. So you cannot criticise him for that. Lukaku, I would imagine will score goals. Vardy score goals, and his work rate is fantastic. They rely on Vardy, don't they, to score the goals. Chelsea, I don't think, will rely on Lukaku as much as Leicester.
Those goals will go, from elsewhere, won't they?
Yeah, and it's same if Kane goes to Manchester City. I think if he goes there, we all expect him to get a ridiculous amount of goals. But you've got to remember, he does. There are other players at that club who also score goals. So they might take a few of them. If, like at Tottenham, if there's going to be a chance, it's Son or Kane. You go through that Manchester City lineup, if he ends up going there, and you think there's Grealish, there's Foden, there's Gundogan.
Mate, it could be Ruben Diaz, a centre-back, could get a few.
There's so many guys who could take goals off him when he would obviously be in that position normally. But, Pukki,
He's going to have an interesting season.
Well, he had a great start his first year, didn't he?
And then it kind of fell off a cliff, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But
I think Patrick Bamford's going to get double figures again.
What about Antonio at West Ham?
Injuries, isn't it?
If he can stay fit.
If he can stay fit, he'll get you a lot of injuries. Raul Jimenez is going to be interesting, obviously coming back from that fractured skull.
It's a big ask. Patrick Bamford, one who proved himself last year after much criticism, saying, he's never good enough to play in the Premier League, he won't score goals. Well, he had a decent season last year for Leeds. Can he back it up back to back? Everton with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's an interesting one.
Well, he is, and there's links with him to another club. But Richarlison's the one for me.
In what sense?
He hardly scored last year.
Yeah.
A player I would expect, fantastic player, so much skill and scoring goals. He didn't score enough last year for Everton.
Not only did he not score enough, they let him go. Look, I say let him go. He went to the Copa America with Brazil, which is fine. You can go to one tournament. They let him go to the Olympics. He's gone to 2 tournaments back-to-back. The Premier League starts this weekend. He's clearly not going to be in the starting 11 this weekend. So I think that could be, I think it's going to be bad for Everton if he doesn't start like a house on fire, and I don't think he will.
What do you think will happen with Aston Villa? They've got 2 goal scorers now. Danny Ings, look at the season. I talk about it a lot in here. When we had Ian Rush in here a few months ago, and he was talking about Danny Ings, rated him very highly when he was at Liverpool. Unfortunately, it was just bad timing, injuries, never really got a chance to shine. He said, but he rates him highly as a footballer. He can come deep, he can get in behind. He's a good finisher, natural finisher. And he didn't surprise him one bit, but he went to Southampton and he was banging goals, right? He's now gone to Villa, but they've got Ollie Watkins, who for the first season in the Prem, I thought he was done well. Now, what they're going to do, they're going to play both of them. Is Ollie Watkins going to come off the left? And Ings is going to go through the middle.
I think he'll mix it up.
They'll score goals, I think, Villa. I think Aston Villa will score goals. If those two stay in the starting 11.
Let's not forget Buendia as well, who scored goals for Norwich last season.
Exactly.
Can assist as well. So I think, look, they've got a great chance. What about Aubameyang? Pause that thought, because when we come back, we're going to hear from Chunks, who thinks Aubameyang might score a few as well. All right, this is Drive on talkSPORT with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Remember, sell your car in 3 simple steps.